For starting seeds indoors, you'll need the following tools and materials: peat pellets, seeds, water or spray bottle, a fluorescent light or a sunny window, plastic bags, and a waterproof container.
In the winter, you're going to be growing plants that are going to be grown particularly for spring. Things like lettuce, kale, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, cool season crops. They're going to be grown in the winter for the spring to be transplanted. One of the best options for growing seeds with kids is lettuce. Lettuce is a fairly quick crop. You can grow it in about 40 to 60 days. It's a crop that kids are probably going to like to eat because they already eat salads anyway. It's a somewhat foolproof crop, which means if you're trying to grow lettuce and broccoli, you're probably going to have a better chance of getting a lettuce crop than a broccoli crop. And it also can tolerate partial shade, so if you don't have all the sunlight that you need, lettuce is a really good crop for that. Well, the most important thing about sowing seeds is how deep to sow them, especially when you're working with kids, because kids like to plant seeds deeper than they really need to be. When you're planting seeds in the spring, most of the crops typically like to be planted about 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep. So that's really less than about the length of a fingernail. For lettuce, they really only need to be about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch deep, just below the surface. Peat pellets are the best thing to use with kids when you're starting seeds indoors. When they're dry, they're about the size of a silver dollar. They're a self-contained pellet of peat moss, great for germinating seeds. And by adding warm water, the pellet expands and is ready to plant in under 10 minutes. The easiest way to plant a peat pellet is to first squeeze it gently to loosen up and break up the soil. Since we're choosing lettuce, the easiest thing to do with kids is to just place some seeds on the table, take a pencil, and moisten the tip just a little bit. Have each student pick up just a couple seeds, and then with this pencil, just place them just below the surface of the potting soil in the seed pellet. Only about the length of the tip of the pencil. Once they're finished, they can use their little finger to really gently cover up the soil, and that's it. There are 2 stages for caring and maintaining for your plants: germination, and the second stage is growth. Germination typically takes about 3 to 10 days before the seed germinates and brings its head up above the soil. The most important things to think about are warmth and humidity. If you've got your peat pellet planted with your seeds, place them in a plastic bag. And what you can do every day while you're waiting for those seeds to germinate is just to water them lightly by spraying inside the bag with some water and then closing it back up. Okay, the second stage of care is the growth stage. Now it's time to think about giving them light and water. A simple setup in order to give your plants as much light as possible is by getting a waterproof container such as this, and you can take all of your student seedlings that have started to germinate and put them inside your waterproof container. And then if you have a light, you can just turn the light on and set it directly on top of your container, and that will give your plants the light that they need. The second best option is to take your container, or in this case a seedling, in the open Ziploc bag and place it in the sunny window. Make sure that the Ziploc bag is opened, as once the seedling is germinated, you want it to access air and be able to open it so you can place plenty of water in it. Now, regardless of whatever technique you use, it's really important to get about 12 hours of sunlight. So if you have the option, even just a small desk lamp, some kind of fluorescent bulb will help whenever the sun starts to go down. This will give you the healthiest seedlings possible without getting a lot of leggy, long, spindly seedlings that aren't going to produce a lot later on.